Without our next presenter, many of us would not have ever discovered Downton Abbey. But to list all that she and her late husband have meant to our community and to the country would take more time than we have. So let us just say she is a community leader extraordinaire. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome a lover of theater in Balboa Park, Darlene Shiley.
All right, that's more like it, folks. Let's get with the program here. First of all, let me say that I injured my knee last night seeing Almost Famous at the Old Globe when I stood up, screamed, and tried to get on the stage. Barry, however, restrained me. I was really ticked off because I could sing those songs. I lived those songs. I didn't drop acid in Topeka. For those of you who haven't seen the show yet, you got to see this show. Let me start by saying, Stacy, obviously, if you've been in city government for 33 years, you entered city government as a graduate of kindergarten because, honest to God, woman, you're looking fine. I was asked to talk about my love of theater in Balboa Park, and so that's what you're going to hear, a little bit of personal anecdotal stuff. Now, isn't that just a lovely word, Darlene? There are obviously many fine cultural and arts organizations in Balboa Park, most of whom I've been involved with in one way or another over a very long period of time in San Diego. But I've always thought that it's important. You need to know why someone came to have a love of something. Oh, I'm sorry for those of you over there who can't see me because I'm wearing purple and I look really good in purple. Oh, okay. Everybody else can? Okay, we're good. I was conceived in Chula Vista, so I am a San Diegan through and through. Born in Oakland, raised in the projects of Alameda. We moved to a home in San Leandro, and somewhere around fourth grade, someone realized the emerging talent of my love of theater, and my fourth grade teacher cast me as a tree. And so I'm standing there, and I thought, well, this is kind of boring. Maybe it's a tree in the breeze. So I started moving, and pretty soon it was a tree in a hurricane. And the teacher said, Vicky, because that's my middle name, and I was going by that because it was very, she at the time, knock it off. So I gave it up. Sixth grade, my drama teacher, the class that I was taking, apparently saw that beneath this wallflower girl in front of her, and at the time, I can see somebody going, yeah, sure. When was she ever a wallflower? But I was. And so she brought me along in the drama class and cast me. Now, this is the early 1960s. Cast me in a role in the show that had always been played by a guy. So all of you who think that all the stuff going on nowadays is a big new deal, I was there first. So just remember that. Thank you. Thank you very much. But the biggest change in my life came in 1976 when I was doing the lead in Lion in Winter, and a gentleman named Donald Pierce Shiley came to see the show with a mutual friend of mine. I married that man a year and a half later, and his love, his ability to earn and help others, 400,000 people were saved, lives were saved by his heart valves, allowed me, thank you, and thank you for Donald, allowed me to now do the things that I do and contribute to. And one of them, when you cannot talk about Balboa Park, theater in Balboa Park, without thinking about, oh, I know, the Old Globe Theater. By the way, Barry has not paid me a cent for anything I'm about to say. I will accept donations afterwards, however, because the new car I bought, it costs a lot of money to replace the windshield. They say don't buy something you can't afford to have fixed. All of the things about the Old Globe Theater that make it important have to do with why people love theater, and that's because it reaches out. It makes you think, it entertains you, obviously, but it also has, tentacles isn't really a great word, but the thing about fine theater is that it reaches out and other things happen. You've already heard today about, the Old Globe Theater, and Craig Noel gave birth to the Junior Theater, so many things in the park. And he and Donald passed the same year, 2010. I like to think of the two of them up there just creating a terrible ruckus, which I taught Donald. He was very mild-mannered before he met me, and then he just went crazy. That's the effect I have on people in general. I heard that last laugh. That was good. This tentacle business, there was a time in the early 80s when I asked Craig, what would you see as the best thing that could happen to theater in Balboa Park in San Diego? And he said, we need a school, we need an academy. Well, you know how things come together? Craig Noel's idea, Sister Sally Fury, the provost of University of San Diego, was chairman of the board of the Globe at the time. I was on the Globe board. Art Hughes, the president of USD, was a great believer in theater arts. And I guess I had the money. No, Donald had the money. He let me share the money. And so that's how we got the USD Old Globe Shiley MFA program, thank you, which we are very, very, very proud of. Only 7 students are taken each year. They are fully paid scholarships. Hundreds of people audition for this. I wouldn't want to go through an audition like that, but it's an incredible, even, Jim Parsons of Big Bang Theory. The TV program was okay. I watched it for Jim, because every time he was interviewed, he credited USD and the MFA program. Another tentacle went to KBBS TV. I wanted to see more shows like the shows the Globe was doing. Not everyone can get to the theater. Let's show it on television. And so we got the Shiley studio at KPBS, and I think the first production was a live production of The Skin of Our Teeth, in which I played a very successful hooker. I didn't have a, thank you very much, whatever gentleman that was. Meet me after the, yeah. No, I didn't mean that. I'm still married to Donald as far as I'm concerned. But I'd be willing to fool around at the right time. Oh, God, they're believing me. Wait till you hear the next one. No. Okay, so we did the studio, and it was a non-speaking role. Jack O'Brien just said, just give a really dirty laugh when you walk up the stairs at the end. So I'm the closing shot, walking up the stairs in this beautiful lynx coat that my husband had bought for me. Like I said, I was the most successful hooker that Atlantic City had ever seen. Thank you, what is that? No, are you kidding me, $1 bill? Get real. $2 bill, all right, that's good. And the other part, obviously, as was mentioned in my brief but honorable introduction, the PBS Masterpiece Theater was always important to me, is bringing, fine theater. The newspaper wrote an article and dubbed me the Duchess of Downton. I really like that. It comes with no money, no property, no nothing, but I like it anyway. The bottom line here is that theater, like the quality of the Old Globe, and any other theater can lead to other things in the community. So all of you are here, you get the USD connections and all the other things that go with it. But for me, I think the one thing that wrapped it up the most was one night at a production of King Lear in the park at the outdoor theater at the Old Globe. This is how the Globe works with other institutions in the park. During King Lear's great mad speech, something went on at the zoo that got the animals all screaming and yelling. They were carrying on. It was a hoot and a half. And everybody's going, how did they get them to do that? That's remarkable. I thought, only the Globe could pull that off, could get wild animals to yell at the right time. Thank you, Barry, for your predecessors for all that. It is truly, I had no idea that this be this many people here. I think I'm just under my 8 minutes, and they're tough here, so I'm not fooling around. But I do want to just add in closing, because we have so many august politicians here today that the rumor that I might run for mayor is just that. It's a rumor. Barbara, Todd, Todd's clapping. I have with me today my chief of staff, Linda Schoaf, the cute blonde over here at this table, the executive director of the Shiley Foundation, and they said to me when they heard that rumor, "Oh my God, what if you won?" And I said, "I'd be screwed. No, we'll let the other people do it." Thank you very much for listening.